Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnerships with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. Smithville Fiber Internet Security Solutions and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson Attorneys at Law, utilizing 75 years of experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. In 2018, the government loosened regulations for growing hemp, but Indiana farmers are finding few buyers for the plant.
Here we are with just a corn and soybean rotation, no hemp in that rotation because the market's not there yet.
One big issue is the lack of hemp processing plants in the U.S. While Columbus made a splash with the multi-million-dollar Nexus Park, parents don't want the city to neglect its other parks.
We have 12 little playgrounds that maybe they just need a little bit of love.
Repairs have been made on one handicap-accessible playground after more than 1,000 residents petitioned the city. And we'll talk with our statehouse reporter about a number of new laws that took effect Monday. We'll have these stories, plus the latest news from across the state right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Perry Metz, sitting in for the vacationing Joe Wren. Congress redefined hemp in the 2018 Farm Bill. The goal was to eliminate some of the red tape that kept farmers from adding the crop to their usual rotation of corn and soybeans. But 6 years later, it's rare to see hemp growing in Indiana. As Clayton Baumgarth reports, some farmers learned the hard way that hemp's not worth growing if there's no market for it.
Jason Stonecipher has a stack of rotting hemp bales sitting on his property in Covington, Indiana. This pile's been sitting here for about 2 years.
It hasn't really worked out the way we had originally planned. We're actually still sitting on our 2022 crop because of that change in processing and the whole logistics of shipping that out literally across the nation.
Like a lot of farmers, Stonecipher jumped on the hemp bandwagon following the 2018 Farm Bill. He planted 47 acres in 2022. He signed a contract with a hemp processor based in Idaho who paid him in full for his harvest, but to this day has only made one pickup from the stack. Stonecipher barely broke even on that crop. Still, he was cautiously optimistic, and last year he decided to again plant about 50 acres of hemp.
We still have our 2023 crop that we're sitting on as well.
Those bales are also stacked, and Stonecipher hasn't gotten paid for any of them. This year it was a no-brainer. He didn't plant any hemp.
Unfortunately, here we are with just a corn and soybean rotation, no hemp in that rotation because the market's not there yet. So that's a pretty big bummer to me. But yeah, my plans are to get back into it, as soon as we can.
To grow hemp in Indiana, farmers need to get approval from a state chemist who inspects the THC content of the plant. Then farmers need to pass a background check from the FBI.
We let our local law enforcement know where we were raising our first crop because it looks like marijuana, and you never want any sort of, misinformation, if you will.
By all other measures, Stonecipher has nothing but praise for hemp as a crop. It's easy to grow, it's organic, and it doesn't require any new or special equipment. And after harvesting, hemp can become a number of useful things, such as rope for clothing, bioplastics, building materials, food products, and in one case being researched in Texas, batteries.
In the literature, you can find people saying, there are 25,000 different applications, 10,000 different applications, like thousands and thousands. And really what it means is the plant is really versatile and it could go into products where we're using other plants or synthetic materials.
Historically, hemp was viewed as a wonder plant even outside of its uses as a psychoactive substance. In the late 1930s, Popular Mechanics published a piece on hemp and its applications, which led to a resurgence of the crop during World War II.
after World War II, we had production dwindle, and then we had the passing of, the Controlled Substance Act, and this war on drugs, and hemp got lumped in, in cannabis as an umbrella term, which included hemp.
Even though it's legal now to grow low THC content hemp, Bolt says there's been a lot of uncertainties farmers have had to contend with, including a lack of processors and little information about growing hemp on a large scale.
We don't know what we don't know, and we're trying really hard as researchers to answer these questions and really understand the plant to make it a viable option for farmers. But it's going to take time, and sometimes I think that can be challenging for people.
According to the Midwest Hemp Council, the United States is behind globally on the hemp industry. Farmers are competing against countries that have been growing hemp efficiently for decades and have managed to get the price down significantly.
I will tell you right now that FlexForm up in northern Indiana can buy their fiber, their hemp fiber, from France, get it shipped here and into their facility ready to use for much less than what we can do it.
As it exists today, growing hemp in the U.S. isn't really profitable. After transporting the crop to an out-of-state processor, Petty says there are too many costs to justify the effort.
There's no point in growing if we can't get them the pricing that they need, and yet still have everyone make a profit as we go. So we're working really hard to bring that facility here.
Many of the problems facing the hemp industry in Indiana could be alleviated by having more processing plants nearby. But these facilities are expensive, and because there are so few in the country, there's often a backlog to get hemp processed.
Even if one of us landed a contract, we would have to partner with another facility to generate the feedstock that they need.
In a time where farmers are looking to diversify their incomes, hemp is in a position to fill that gap. But with only one processing plant currently in Indiana, producers need more places to sell their harvest.
Our senators and our congressmen are always talking about bringing business to the state. My advice to them is let's get some hemp processing into the state. I think there's a bright future for it with all the construction materials that are being looked at and experimented with.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Clayton Baumgarth.
The current House version of this year's Farm Bill includes a provision that could actually ban the growth of hemp nationwide. The Midwest Hemp Council is optimistic that the bill will be changed before becoming law sometime later this year. We're joined now by Lucas Gonzalez with more headlines from around the state.
Hi, Perry. According to a new report from the Indiana State Department of Agriculture, approximately 350,000 acres of farmland has been lost to development between 2010 and 2022. The results show that agricultural land was most likely to be lost in areas around the edges of cities and suburban areas.
The reality is that we're losing quite a bit of farmland, and it's significant, and it's something that we ought to be keeping an eye on.
Lamb also says that moving forward, there are a lot of discussions to be had regarding the balance between economic development and preserving agriculture.
We all want our state to be a business-friendly state. We want it to be someplace people want to come and want to live, because that's really good for all of us. But agriculture does play a huge role in that.
Despite the loss in acreage, yield data shows that Indiana's production of its cash crops has increased. In 2012, Indiana produced over 597 million bushels of corn for grain, and in 2022 yielded over 1 billion bushels. Indiana produced nearly 219 million bushels of soybeans in 2012 and saw that number increase to over 326 million in 2022. Indiana University says it lost about $1.3 million on its April Eclipse event at Memorial Stadium. The event featured singer Janelle Monáe, Star Trek actor William Shatner, and Mae Jemison, the first woman of color in space. The university spent $1.6 million to put the event on, but only generated $268,000 in revenue. IU estimates only 3,000 to 4,000 people attended the event. The southwest branch of the Monroe County Public Library is open after a frozen pipe flooded the building in January. The water damage affected about a third of the library at a repair cost of about $300,000. But as of Monday, patrons have once again been able to check out books.
We couldn't wait to get back in, and now that we have reopened the doors, the public has been so kind, saying they're so happy to be back. It's just a real good feel-good moment.
The Southwest branch first opened last June, and it is the most recent addition to the Monroe County Library system. The chair of the Monroe County Republican Party says she's stepping down because she can no longer afford the cost of local housing. Taylor Bryant's resignation is effective July 25th. She became party chair in 2021 at just 18 years old. She was the youngest county party chair ever elected in the state.
I will be just as involved as I always have been throughout this election cycle. I want to see it through for our great candidates, and I will be walking with you all in every parade. I'll be cheering you on.
In her announcement, Bryant endorsed Vice Chair William Ellis for party leader. Ellis served as party chair before Bryant. The party will hold a caucus on July 25th to select a new chair. Ellis says he hasn't decided if he'll run, but wants to ensure Bryant's strategy is successful. U.S. Indiana Republican Representative Victoria Spartz was issued a citation after bringing a handgun through airport security last Friday. Transportation Security Administration officers confiscated an unloaded .38 caliber handgun from Spartz's carry-on suitcase pocket when she went through security at the Washington Dulles International Airport. Spartz's office said in a statement that she didn't realize she had the firearm in her suitcase and carried it through security accidentally. Spartz was on her way to a security conference in Romania. Cities can enforce criminal punishments on people for sleeping outside, according to a new Supreme Court ruling. The decision says cities can arrest, ticket, or fine people for sleeping outside, even when there isn't available shelter space.
Okay, now what? We're existing in this environment. It's now declared and clear. How do we move forward in the best way to advocate for our people?
Gilmore says it's basically already illegal in Bloomington to sleep outdoors in public places. The city has evicted 3 encampments since January, and a 4th will be evicted next month. He says those evictions can cause a circular problem rather than a solution.
Ultimately, the solution to homelessness is housing, and in some cases it's housing plus the supports that people need to maintain their housing.
Gilmore says around 100 people are sleeping outside every night, with only about 30 shelter beds available. The city of Bloomington and Monroe County will collect tree and vegetation debris from last week's storm beginning on Monday. The city has partnered with Williams Tree Company of Martinsville to collect debris for a 2-week period from homes within city limits. Residents are asked to pile debris near the roadside but out of the right-of-way. Requests for collection can be submitted through a U report at bton.in/storm. And Perry, the county says that tree pickup will happen weekly by township through next month, beginning next week with Perry Township.
Thanks, Lucas. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. Happy Hour is back in Indiana, and it's just one of a number of new laws to take effect in the state this week. And Columbus officials responded after a number of parents petitioned them to fix up some city parks. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
This is you on the cusp of your next chapter.
It's a passageway into something new.
It just seeps into you.
It's a groundbreaking moment.
We can make it ours.
We're coming out hot. We're starting here. It's definitely going to be a treat for their palate.
What a story.
She had the imagination of a genius.
Each time I go up there, it's the sense of newness.
3, 2, 1.
Showtime.
We're all running.
It's beautiful.
Cherish every moment. Continue to laugh.
We hope you'll join us.
There is no going back.
It's time for a new beginning.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. A number of new laws passed by the state legislature went into effect Monday. One made happy hour legal again in Indiana for the first time in nearly 4 decades. And as Pat Bean reports, bar owners are looking forward to offering specials again.
Happy hour was first banned in 1985 in an effort to curtail drunk driving. But in March, Governor Eric Holcomb signed House Bill 1086, making happy hour legal again.
Now there's just one more thing to do.
Bar owners say this is a good move for the state.
Anything that gets the Indiana liquor laws more towards a centrist position with the rest of the United States is a positive development.
Fitzpatrick says bars operate later than traditional happy hour times, so they weren't able to offer them under the previous law. They were able to offer all-day specials on drinks.
Restricting specials for any time of the day, we were forced to essentially fix our prices throughout. And now we have some flexibility. We can offer different prices at different parts of the day as we see fit.
Bars now may offer drink specials for up to 4 hours a day and 15 hours a week. However, they cannot run specials between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Pat Bean.
The bill also allows bars and restaurants to prepare, sell, and deliver alcoholic beverages for carryout to customers. For more on some of the other laws that took effect on July 1st, we're joined by Indiana Public Broadcasting Statehouse Bureau Chief Brandon Smith. Brandon, some of the new laws that will impact Hoosiers on education, from reading scores and religious instruction to cell phones in class. Can you tell us more about what these mean for students?
Well, I think students will really notice the cell phone change if their schools or teachers didn't already have that policy about keeping them out of the classroom. But the most significant change is likely from Senate Bill 1, which directs schools to be more diligent about holding back students who don't pass the third grade reading test. Now, part of that bill is also more testing earlier in school. So they're trying to identify kids who are struggling and get more resources to them to get them on track before they're then held back.
Now, lawmakers also loosened regulations for unlicensed child care homes. What will that mean?
Right. These are homes that are caring for a relatively small number of kids, but they increased the number of children who are allowed to be in unlicensed child care homes from 5 to 7, and the number of hours per day that they can care for those kids. Republicans say it's a step towards solving the child care shortage, but Democrats worry because those changes actually fly in the face of national standards.
One law affecting Bloomington is a limit on local bans of dog sales at pet stores.
That's right. Bloomington and about 20 other communities in the states whose local bans are now overturned by that law. Lawmakers created new standards of care for dogs who are being raised in before they're being sold, and it requires pet stores to register with the state before selling canines. It was a measure pushed by pet store chains, as you might imagine, but also backed by dog breeders who say that the legal standards will help eliminate bad actors from the industry.
How did lawmakers limit the wetland protections in the state?
Well, they actually further limited them. 3 years ago, lawmakers largely eliminated protections for most classes of wetlands. And now this new law greatly reduces the number of wetlands that can belong to that class, the only one left with significant protections.
They also criminalized computer-generated pornography. Can you give us a little context for that?
Well, basically what they did is they extended the state's revenge pornography law to cover computer-generated or altered images of a real person without their consent. Prosecutors say they're seeing a real rise in things like deep fakes or nudifying an image, where you take a photo of someone in their clothing and then use a computer to, take their clothes off, though obviously that isn't a real picture of them. But it's the sort of thing that's causing more problem for lawmakers because there are questions about whether or not that would have been criminal before.
Before we go, the Democrats will hold their state convention next weekend, and they'll select a lieutenant governor to run alongside Jennifer McCormick. What can you tell us about the candidates?
There are 4 of them. Former state lawmaker Terry Gooden is Jennifer McCormick's pick for running mate, but he is a conservative Democrat who voted against gay marriage and abortion access in the legislature. That's caused some consternation in the party, though he's sort of distanced himself from those views now. He's still the heavy favorite, though, in the convention. The other candidates are Cliff Marsiglio, who ran for mayor of Indianapolis last year, Bob Kern, who's a perennial candidate, and Tammy Dixon Tatum, who couldn't get on the ballot to run for governor this year.
Thanks, Brandon. That was Brandon Smith, Statehouse Bureau Chief for Indiana Public Broadcasting. More than a year ago, a train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, releasing toxic materials into the air and forcing more than 2,000 people to evacuate. The accident has left many wondering just what trains carry on a local level and when hazardous materials may be transported through town. Isabella Vesperini has this report.
Freight trains carry anything from chemicals and crude oil to food products and coal. Usually the Federal Department of Transportation and the Federal Railroad Administration regulate specifically what trains carry. But Bridget Hale, State Rail Programs Director for the Indiana Department of Transportation, says neither the state nor local public agencies monitor exactly what trains transport locally. The Indiana Department of Emergency Management doesn't regulate this either. The Rails Programs Office has access only to railroad companies' top commodity, which they use for internal purposes only. Since these companies are privately owned, they are not required to disclose what they carry. But after communities suffered the consequences from the East Palestine accident, this lack of transparency is concerning for officials in the rail industry.
They cut corners on safety, and they cut corners on staffing, and they cut corners on inspecting their equipment before it goes from point A to point B.
The length of the trains is also a cause for concern for Edwards. Some trains that pass through Bloomington come from Marathon Refinery in Illinois and carry hazardous materials, such as benzene and LP gas. Each train cart carries 30,000 gallons of gas, and many trains can stretch over 10,000 feet.
The longer the train, the more unsafe it'll be because you have more moving parts and you have more forces. It's like a train is like a slinky.
Switching systems and bridges are weak spots in rail infrastructure.
The train derailment itself is good evidence for the fact that our transportation system isn't perfect. Sometimes it seems like the cargo, like trains that carry products, are maybe less well protected.
Trains carry a high concentration of ammonia and phosphate regularly through town. Ammonia gas is toxic and can kill someone immediately. Phosphate in acidic form can cause a high concentration of algae to grow in the waterways and worsen water quality.
Anytime, you're moving a chemical around that has potential toxic impacts, there are going to be accidents now and then, and so that's, that will always remain a concern. But of course, we rely on these chemicals, so it kind of has to be a concern that a risk that that the benefits of which outweigh the hazards.
A representative from the Columbiana County Emergency Management Agency in Ohio said following the train derailment in East Palestine, Norfolk Southern has added additional hotbox detection crossings and camera inspection points. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Isabella Vesperini.
Politicians have been pushing for the adoption of the Railway Safety Act, which, if passed, would require the Department of Transportation to issue more stringent safety regulations for trains which carry hazardous materials. A playground designed for kids with disabilities is finally getting some much-needed repairs. Joe Wren reports on how a petition of almost 1,000 signatures caught the attention of Columbus officials.
Columbus made headlines with its new Nexus Park field house this past year. A multi-million-dollar recreation investment transformed a former mall. Some parents are hoping the city won't forget about its other parks.
I just don't want our town to forget about the lowly playgrounds. We have 12 little playgrounds that maybe they just need a little bit of love. Can you show me? Can we go look at the rock?
Ellie Burbrink's son was born with the rare disease called Apert syndrome.
He had his fingers fused together like this when he was born. It's called syndactyly. His toes are still fused together. He has a different kind of gait when he walks. He's autistic. He doesn't always look where he's going. That's your cave.
They go to Freedom Field behind Parkside Elementary School, a playground built for kids with disabilities.
We have a lot more options for him, even just the big ramp. He can just walk all up the big ramp, walk back down the big ramp.
But the park is showing its age, and parents were worried about their kids being hurt with missing floor tiles and broken equipment.
We're so frustrated by it. I just kind of stumbled upon it, noticed it, started asking questions. And so to hear other people say, yes, those are such a problem. Yes, we've had these issues with it. Yes, we've called so many times.
She started a petition on change.org that collected almost 1,000 signatures. And the city, including Columbus Mayor Mary Fredon, noticed.
We should have, and we did fix that. We've been in contact with the designer. We'll probably bring them back in and look at the design. It may be time to kind of update a lot of the playground.
Look, they fixed it! They fixed it! It was broken and it's fixed.
The city fixed a few of the broken tiles too, and parents hope the city will do more.
I appreciate that group of I think it's moms coming together and doing that, right? That's mom power. And so, because it will be a public-private partnership, we will need to raise some funds.
Burbrink says she'll find volunteers to help.
If you train us, give us some paintbrushes, or tell us what to do, we'll help.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Joe Wren.
Little independence for kids. That's the end of this program, but our work continues online throughout the week as we report on the stories which affect Indiana. You can follow us at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller-Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnerships with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. Smithville Fiber Internet Security Solutions and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson Attorneys at Law, utilizing 75 years of experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.